Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Talos Principle 2, where we will today go through whatever this island was called. Usually, I've been playing this game on like a daily basis, but I've taken like a 5-day break at this point. And that's the main thing. I remember that there was a creature here, and beyond that, not so much. So we're just gonna go and have a little look around of the place. In the previous episode, I decided to focus on puzzles first and exploration later. And in this one, I'm probably not going to do that as much because I am playing in the weekend, so I have some more time, but I don't need to worry about time constraints so much. Tomorrow, on the other hand, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I say tomorrow, I don't know when videos are coming out. It's just very much on a when I have time basis, so don't worry about it too much. We're gonna run around. We're gonna look at some swamp. We're gonna see if we can find any cool stuff. Some rusty things, some rustic things. Some surprisingly deep water, but not too deep, that I can't have a little splash around without worry. So all in all, I'm feeling confident. Let's go see, there's like a constant struggle in the back of my mind, like how much do I want to explore? Because so far, the exploration aspect hasn't yielded that much. But then someone gives me something like this, and it's like, well, if it just lets me keep climbing, I'll just keep climbing. But unfortunately, there was an end to it. Having said that, though, it did let me go surprisingly high, so I'm just gonna do that one more time. And I understand that the tippy top, once it switches between, I don't know, material, it stops being as climbable, but I don't know, I'm feeling alright about that. I think there's some possibility there for sure. There's a question mark in the distance, which looks like a puzzle. And I think that's exactly what we'll be dealing with in just a moment. After we thoroughly look around and see if there's anything hidden amongst the oh so many trees and branches and sticks and rocks and whatnot, because my goodness, this place is filled to the brim with nature. Unfortunately, it's nature of the variety that is very dense, which even if there is something here, it's fairly likely I'm just going to miss it entirely. Because quite frankly, there's just too much of it. It doesn't seem like there's any secret areas beyond the water, given that there is just a nearly limitless supply of land in water that is just deep enough that it causes a problem for me. And also, arguably, any boat that would try to cross the land, because it's a bit too, like, not quite deep enough for a boat to seemingly pass through it with relative ease. So all in all, no one's having fun in this particular water. I don't know if there's new mechanics in this land. I guess I could have looked. I think there was something about teleporters. Yeah, alright. There was teleporters in the lab the last time we played, so I'm guessing there's going to be some sort of teleportation aspect, provided that we need to make use of it. It's likely the case. From what I recall, it was mostly objects being teleported. I didn't see any people being teleported through it, which is fair enough, I suppose. If I had a box, which is my standard saying in this game, we would have been done with this already. Elegance. Driller. So far, various puzzle pieces at our disposal. There is this thing, which I'm guessing is the teleporter. Bring an item to swap. Ooh. Ah, that's fun. So I've been told, yeah, that the basic mechanic that I was missing for the longest time was that you can jam fans. And yeah, I'd never even considered the possibility to jam something that wasn't, you know, wasn't what it, wasn't a barrier. There you go, that's the word. So, Also, it's relatively easy, I think, to place an item on top of this here wall. So we'll just leave that alone for now. Because I think that's going to cause problems later on in life. I also feel like I can probably jump around that wall if I really wanted to. And, oh, and this is what you need the driller for, I suppose. But, I mean, do you, though? I think that's likely possible. I feel like the odds of this not being possible are extremely low. But you know what? Let's just try to do it like a human. So we would put this here, then we'd have this beam. The exit's right there. That's dangerous on its own. There. Oh, I jammed this barrier, so that's why the exit's already open, I suppose. But having said, can I? Hang on. If I were, for instance, to do this, would I be able to place it and jam something with it? Because that seems like, yeah, it would be too much, wouldn't it? Fair enough. We'll just take the connector. We don't actually have, like, a fan for this to work, I think. Unless we can take this one. No. I also don't think we've seen a fan. So far we just have some spinning gears. And there's a reasonable chance, I suppose, that there is a fan, like, next to that whole place. But for that, I need to be there. And that is obviously an issue. So that's a problem that we're going to have to deal with. I don't know what the rules of this exactly is. Because I suppose if I need to jam a fan in order to pick it up, then that would be a whole thing. But I don't think that's one of the rules that's really been indicated by the game. Having said that, I don't see a fan anywhere over there either. And also having said that, I still feel like there's some possibility in doing something like that for silly business. But that's a whole different kind of beans that we're working with, so I'm just not going to worry about that. What if we jam the fan? Yeah, I can't pick it up, so that's not a fan I can use. I'm gonna give it like a 99% chance based on nothing that there's just a fan somewhere here. Yeah, alright. Yeah, that's fair enough, I suppose, isn't it? Okay. Okay. My percentages were on point, I'm going to say, and I'm gonna take that as a victory at least, but ultimately, this is a lot of swapping actually, because you need the connector. And the... oh, jeez. Like, this looks like a lot of work, if I'm being fully honest. And I don't know how much work I'm willing to put into this. Even though I said I wasn't, like, you know, like, mega sleepy or anything. I just feel like this is gonna be a big hassle. Also, the connector, I think, is all the way over there now. You know that's gonna be a problem. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is looking like the potential for shenanigans is here. Primarily, like, my one thought is if I can just do a proper jump around this wall, I think that's basically the whole puzzle solved. I just think maybe that jump's not as easy as I am making it sound. Also, I feel like I'm missing pieces of this puzzle, really, which is causing some problems. Where did I put the connect? Oh yeah, the connector was over there. Alright, yeah, I've really made this overly complicated, I feel. Because I can't, like, do this. Ah, yeah. This beam's in just, like, the worst spot for normal situation things to work. Maybe I shouldn't start with this puzzle. Maybe after taking a decently timed break, this is not the puzzle one should start with. But hey, what are you gonna do? We're here now, eh? We're not just gonna... we're not immediately gonna give up on it, but there's a decent chance that we're gonna give up on it before we solve this puzzle for, like, 100% sure. That's just the way life is sometimes, you know? Like, look at how close you get to the wall by just doing that, you know? It does push you to the center of the thing when you hit it. But that's so precarious. Like, you cannot truly believe that that is going to be safe. Anyway. So if we had the driller here, I could put this thing on the other side of the wall. Yeah, that would work. I need the fan as well. Oh, jeez. This is so many there's so many pieces. It's just so many pieces of this puzzle. Because I need the fan to be on this side. Which it never was, admittedly. I also need... yeah, because without... yeah. Can we not just jump over it? Can we not just be silly for once and just jump over the wall? Because honestly, the moment we can do that, that's the end, really. Tricky business for sure. We'll get around to... We'll solve it. We'll solve it. Don't worry, everyone. I know everyone's very concerned about the status of this here puzzle. But I don't think you should worry too much. Because what we got going on is gonna work. I promised you that with my life. And that is a dangerous promise to make, but I stand by it. Is it not just this? And then we can take this thing again. Yeah, once the fan is in position, this would be enough, really. Because then I'd just jump over here, jam that, and then I'd have 3 pieces available. Oh, I'd need the jammer to be in there. I don't think this is the puzzle for it. Yeah, we're coming back to this. We'll get back to this, because this is quite frankly a nightmare in my head right now. So we're just going to leave that alone. We're going to follow this horse. Because the thing about that puzzle structurally is that I do not trust it to be worth the brain power to put into it. That's my main concern with how that puzzle is laid out. Because all it needs is one box, and that would realistically be the end of that puzzle already. Also, the fact that you can effectively just take the jammer out of the puzzle with, like, certainty. I think you can just drop it on the wall, because the little silhouette, or whatever, hologram? Yeah. Whatever it was. The little thing that says place here, effectively. That was showing up on top of the wall as I was jumping past it. And the puzzle's not that high, so the likelihood of not just being able to grab that from the other side is like 0. So we're just gonna leave that alone for now. Because obviously, yeah, that's just too many puzzle pieces to get my silly little head around. Let's go deal with this instead. Is this a doable jump? Very easily, actually. Oh yeah, I lost it already. I desperately need to sneeze, and that is the one thing going through my mind as we follow this one. At least this one picks up the pace a little bit. The previous one was so slow for some reason. And that's fair enough, because it did guide you along water, I suppose, but I could have accepted if it was just slow for the watery bit, really. But that's just a whole nother can of worms that we don't need to do. There's so many worms this episode, it turns out. We're having to deal with all of them. There's a flame of whatever is over here. Oh, this is also very dangerous. So, that implies that we can either A, already get a puzzle piece of some description to that location. And honestly, I don't even understand how that's going to work out. Maybe this is part of the mechanic that we haven't fully examined yet. You're not really gonna make me climb all the way up there. You're just gonna go along the others. Who is this for? Like, who? I understand that I'm silly climby man sometimes, and that I was literally climbing this thing earlier. But that was just to see if I could break stuff. This is not so much for the purpose of following this silly little orb over here. The main difference with the one I was climbing and this one is that the textures don't seem to be unloading with every step I take, so it's... If you're gonna make these things climbable, at least be consistent about it, is all I'm saying, yeah. Because I will point at it and go, hey, what are you doing? We'll get to that in a second. There's a hand thing here, maybe there's a... Yeah, there's Trevor's back. Trevor's back on his old business. Might as well listen to Trevor while we're following this orb.
Something I really like about Alex, one of the reasons why I'm here doing this, is that she's really humble. She has this incredibly positive view of humanity. She believes we can accomplish anything, but it's not about her. She doesn't think that she's smarter or better than anyone else. She just looks at us as a species, and even though she can see how small we are in the grand scheme of things, she thinks that we could conquer the stars and give meaning to the universe. Even now. Even when none of us are going to live to see it. Isn't that awesome?
Good on you, Alex.
Paradise cannot be found. It must be built.
So I'm gonna do puzzle number 1 after the nightmare situation that we just had. Because I assume puzzle 1 I can either A, wrap my head around, or B, see the mechanic that I'm undoubtedly missing. Because, I'll be honest, it already feels like I'm missing yet another mechanic. Given that I need an item to swap, and I can't seemingly get to this here item. Unless, the fan's there. I see what you're saying. Very good. Alright. We understand the mechanic. The mechanic was not the problem with me not being able to solve that one puzzle just now.
I've had a closer look at the Somnodrome. You know, the one that 1K fried. It's based on the original prototype with some modifications. As usual, the data is a mess, but I strongly suspect there might be a functional version somewhere.
I know some of you have heard stories about the answers this device might reveal, but please remember, that is not our main priority here. Keep an eye open for it, but focus on finding Athena.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm focusing on. I would not be focusing on anything silly while we're doing this. That is simply not in my bones. I genuinely forgot that barriers go away once you solve a puzzle. It may have been more days than I thought for my brain to handle. This fan right here is a menace. Actually, is it? Maybe it's not. Provided I can do something silly here. It might not be a menace. I wonder if if a box could bounce onto the fan as it falls down. It certainly is staying up here, which is not quite what I'm going for. What is happening? Is this because of the fan, or is it just... Alright, yeah. No, that's fair enough, I suppose. I don't know what I was expecting. Obviously, the box is just going to float in midair as it falls down. What else would it do? It would be silly of me to assume anything otherwise. God. Sometimes this game is just a little silly. It's a little silly sometimes. This gotta work, right? Like a decent chance that this will have some sort of weird... Yeah, there you go. So... Like what I'm saying is, right, is that if a puzzle is too difficult, the game will always just provide you with a different way of solving it. Having said that, I kind of forgot where that one button was that I needed with the flame on it, because we kind of ran around for a minute. And I'm still kind of curious. I want to see that in like a bit more in depth, I suppose, because that button's interesting to me, because that implies a lot of different things. And I think if they are going to imply that if one of the things is you are just meant to be doing this kind of nonsense, Maybe I'm just looking at this game wrong. Like, it's nice that they put all these puzzles here, but clearly that's not the intended way of dealing with problems. If one of the puzzles is literally take a puzzle piece out of one of the puzzles to hold this button down. Maybe breaking is the intention, rather than just a method. Having said that, it is fiddly to break some of these puzzles, but not like super fiddly. I have no idea where this button even is, by the way. This place is massive. There's a cool little tunnel here. The lab's over there. I guess we might as well just visit the lab while we're at it. But I do want to take this box to a thing. Oh. Well then. Shortest lab adventure we've had so far, it seems. Doesn't... Even with silliness, it doesn't look like we can just crash our way into this particular lab, unless there's more doors. Not the location. I'm gonna say maybe. I'm gonna put that on the maybe pile of things being there. But we are certainly going to leave it alone for now, as we try to find the one switch, which I could have made like a mental note of it's near puzzle number 6 or whatever. And yeah, I just fully did not. I saw it, I chased an orb, I left it alone beyond that. I was gonna say it's probably not that difficult to find again, because it was a pretty decently sized structure, but we did really be running for a while there, eh? We did really be running for a while there, is the sentence we're gonna go with on that one. Yeah, I was gonna say that seemed like it wasn't gonna keep working. Tough one. There's puzzle number 7. Ah, God. Oh, well, at least now we know. In puzzle number 1, we can get a box with minor effort. So if ever we need to load a checkpoint, we can just get it back from there. But these puzzles are very small. The exit is right there. All we need is like an edge with a little piece missing or something like that, and we're good to go, really. Some kind of way to climb any of these walls, and before you know it, silliness abound. But until that point, yeah, I can't. I might not be able to place it on this tiny ledge. They considered the tiniest ledge. Not the ledge quite next to it, but that one isn't high enough for my journeys. How about this though? Well, we'll see what is inside puzzle number 7 in a second, but I'm feeling silly today, so we're just gonna be a little silly before we get serious with it. This is not what you think it is. That is not the kind of ledge that you might expect from that particular shape. That is a slope, as it turns out, to everyone's surprise. Ah, well. That's okay. Let's go see what this is. Now that we've done puzzle number 1, we fully understand every mechanic. We can do puzzle number 7 with relative ease, I'm gonna say. There we go. What am I... Oh, this is just a platform. Okay. So we got one of these things, which is cool. I like these. These are fun. We can not quite get that, but we can put this on the other side with the things we have available. And there's a box over here as well. Now, with the box, we can point at various things. The converter is now obviously on this side, so that's not great. Having said that, this is a pretty high looking location that we are on. So all of this doesn't really matter that much.
An excellent solution.
Yeah, obviously. I think we all agree on that one. It was genuinely the best solution that anyone could possibly think of. I'll be honest. I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking about this anymore. We're just gonna say that this is just one of the solutions that this game has to offer, I think. Because I think I don't like the swapping mechanic because my brain can't handle it very well. To put it in the simplest terms, I can't really deal with it. So we're just not gonna worry about it too much. It might be an issue later on in the game, I suppose, if that becomes a problem, but for now we are just going to just leave that alone until a day that I can more easily handle what the game is throwing at me regarding swapping things around, because quite frankly, it turns out that today is not the day. Today is the day for silly hijinks and silly goofiness, and not so much for hey, there we go, we've seen one of these. I haven't seen one of these in a while. At least one world, so that's a good bit. What do we actually have here, though? We have a jammer. We have a suspiciously low ceiling there. Boop. We have a man who can probably be used to stand on a switch. The exit's right there in the middle. That's a very safe place to put an exit, I'll tell you that much. One of the safest exits I've seen in this game so far. I say that, actually. How safe is this? Can you switch while in midair, actually? No. Well, kind of, but it doesn't really do that much for you, it doesn't seem. Okay, so this relatively safe. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This is a relatively safe place to put an exit. I will say that there is very clearly like a tunnel thing here, and if we get that, then we win. That can't be true. But just for fun, let's just see what we're dealing with here. Because there's like a beam here, and I kind of assumed that that would be part of the puzzle in some way. But it... Oh, okay. I thought this... Right. Okay, it's multiple layers. That's fair enough then, I suppose. How fair enough are we talking on this? Because I don't know. I'm feeling a certain kind of way about this, because I think... Huh. Let me just try something. Let me just have a moment to take a minute here, because... Would this not work? Oh, the angle's annoying. It's not, like, unusable, but it's an annoying angle. Let's put that, like, there. Is this impossible? This doesn't feel impossible. That's my main issue with it. It's beginning to feel already like a little bit less sturdy of a puzzle. Anyway, there's a beam thing here, which if we had that, then we could just finish the puzzle as well. Alright, yeah, fair enough. This might actually just not be possible that way, so okay. It's okay, everything's okay. So... I guess we just get the mans there. And then we... How do we get something here? I don't know. Because this now needs to go there. Unless I can just make it drop on its own. Like, is this a thing you can do? No. That'd be neat if that was possible, actually. Let me just see what the limits of this is with very low mouse sensitivity. Yeah, see, like... that can't be right, you know? That, like, this doesn't feel correct that is a possibility. Because this... Yeah, I don't know. How do I actually point it? Oh, if I have the other guy. Yeah, okay. Because you could just take it. Put that there. You go then. Keep connections. Bleh. Right, but then I don't have... Yeah. So... I'm gonna say that probably wasn't intended, but... I'm honestly not like... This is one of those times where I'm not 100% sure if it wasn't. It's certainly weird. It's a weird solution. That... I mean, certainly shouldn't work. But it certainly did. Because it certainly just fell right through the floor along with the tunnel it was creating. But given that you can't... you can't, like, push one of those things through its own hole, usually. So it doesn't feel great in terms of a solution. That's okay. I mentioned before that I can't really wrap my head around the whole swapping thing, so we're just gonna have to find our own ways, maybe through all of the puzzles instead, to figure it out. It wasn't like that hard though to get it to fall down through its own thing, you know? Like, it wasn't that much effort that I put into it. We already did this, yeah. So I don't know. You know, this is one of those things. It's just one of the mechanics that not it's a secret mechanic that's not for everyone. Also, we found this thing, so that's good. Like, you need to hold it down. So I assume you'd need some kind of way to press that button. And certainly the easiest way of doing that is by just having an object nearby. It just doesn't... yeah. This world is making a complicated situation of everything, really. Like, what are you meant to think, you know? What are you meant to think in a time like this? That's where the following thing was, so I guess we could just keep going in this direction for a while, because we didn't really continue exploring the edges of this place after we found the orb that we have to chase. If I sound weird, my nose has been itchy throughout this whole recording, and it's just very distracting. It's been a sneezy day, it's been an itchy nose kind of day, and that's the kind of levels that we're dealing with of distraction while we're trying to solve these difficult puzzles. And all those things combined, it's just a very tricky situation, you know? It's a nice sunset, though. Colors are nice. It's a very pretty game when you're not moving too much. The moment you start moving, it does some weird stuff. Like, I don't know how noticeable that is in the YouTube video either, but there's certain walls, when you get close to them, there's like this weird... Oh, that just appeared. There's like a weird, I don't even know how to really describe it. Like a pixelation of the textures that happens, and then it sort of like sorts itself out over time as you stop moving. But there's something real weird about it, is more the point that I'm trying to make. It doesn't feel great. And then the reflections on the water look good, provided you stand still. And then when you start moving around, there's all this like, nonsense going on in the background. I don't fully know if that's just my graphic settings, because I haven't experimented with it that much. I just figured if the game runs, that's probably fine. But it's certainly strange. And yeah, just little bits and pieces that don't feel quite right visually. But the moment you stop moving, everything sort of slots into place, and then it does look quite nice as a place to look at. the game's photo mode is also like actually decently impressive. Like you got a lot of different settings you can mess with, along with the camera aperture, which I thought was wild that that's even a setting in a video game, but you know, fair enough. You got different poses and stuff that you can move your character around a little bit. What is going on? Oh, it's right puzzle. And it's honestly quite an impressive photo mode with all that in mind. But yeah, it's just when it's actually all in motion that it sort of becomes a bit weird. Oh, this is a whole different puzzle. Oh god, I thought this was the... Well, we've certainly gotten ourselves trapped now, so that's fair enough, I suppose, but... I thought that we were next to a whole different puzzle. Having said that, this one 100% you can just skip it, yeah. Where are we at? Oh, right, yeah, that's fair enough, actually. Let's just go to the nearest puzzle, because I don't really want to edit. Actually, you know what? I'm going to edit a little bit and go back to that puzzle, because I need to sneeze heavily, and I need to just get that over with. So I'll see you next to the triangle puzzle again. Alright, we're back. I've made the rookie mistake. Not blowing my nose before this recording, and I think that's where everything was just sort of falling apart. One of the simple things you gotta do before you do anything in life, really. It really just simplifies most aspects, really. And I think that's why the puzzles were so tricky as well. You can't solve a puzzle when your nose is clogged up. Doesn't work that way. You got a jammer. You got a jammer we can fairly easily acquire. Bam. If we have the jammer, we can get this thing, which on this pedestal looks actually quite nice. It's not usually a way you see this item. But we do end up eventually needing green. So, how do we get that to work? Because we need red, we need blue to make green. But in order to do that, we need both the connector and the other thing. Which doesn't seem... actually, I guess we only need... I guess we only need this. Because we got red already. But we need to keep this door open, and for that we need... For that we need this. So now we can pick that up. Now we don't need the jammer to keep the door open anymore. Now we can take this thing. Very good. Surprisingly easy puzzle. Given the nightmare situation I have with the other triangle puzzle. I'll take it. I will take that. We cannot...
around these landscapes, solving puzzles. In a way, 1K's experience must be very similar to Athena's in the simulation.
There's one difference, though. Athena was alone.
Yeah, I've really been helped by the guidance of the people that we've encountered on our journey so far. Every single one of them saying, I don't know what the hell a puzzle is, leave me alone. Why do people keep it like it? There's basically every single one of the people on this journey with us was barely able to do the tutorial, apparently. But they've got some thoughts about how they can fix this whole thing. And you know, I'm feeling fairly confident that, at least in some aspects, they probably know what they're doing, but my god, it is... Puzzle-wise, I feel like I've more or less been put here alone. On this very small island. That's okay, though. I think this game would get very tedious if they would give you suggestions. Oh god, can you imagine? Imagine they put backseating in this game as a mechanic. Of all the games, of an actual puzzle game, to just be like, maybe you should do this. Although it would be kind of good if it's something you could turn on and off. It would be like so much effort for a gag that no one would enjoy, but I think it would be kind of humorous if they just kept giving you suggestions of things that didn't work while you were trying to solve the puzzle. It would get so tedious real quick, but my god. Put some effort in that and you'd have a mechanic that would be undervalued by society. Oh god. Just the thought of it alone, it already sounds so frustrating, but just both building it and the fact that it would exist, there's so many layers to how annoying it would be, because no one would enjoy building it. No one would enjoy using it. And it would just be turned off by everyone that goes into the options, but... Oh god, what a terrible idea. I can see why I didn't make this game. Because I guess that suggestion is basically what it is. That the actual like content of that suggestion is what I'm suggesting. Oh god, this is a complicated one. I'm going too deep into my own head brains. Need to leave it alone. I need to move on, do puzzle number 4 instead. I think that's gonna take our heads off of this situation. Let's just go here. Simplify life a little bit for everyone involved. Oh, I was gonna say there's multiple entrances to this, but there isn't. There's just 2 exits, I guess. Kinda. Again, though, putting the exit that close to a wall, it's just asking for trouble, you know? They have at least fenced the entire area off this time, so I can respect that at least. Prison. Will it have something to do with... Ah, jeez, there's so many things already. That is highly suspicious. The fact, why would they put a door there, you know? There probably is a good reason. I just haven't seen it yet. How do I make... Oh, that's how you make blue. Right. But... I cannot make the blue go there until the red's taken care of. We got a switch there. How do we pull the switch? Maybe with multiple boxes. Can I put that in a place where it's not like the most horrible thing in the world? Like here maybe? And then maybe I can use that to point at that. Yeah. Very nice. We got another connector. Another puzzle piece is available. We can open this door relatively easily, but I don't think we really managed to do anything with this being open currently. Had we had a jammer, this puzzle would have been over. So that probably is why we don't currently have one. This is me using my thoughts and my brains all at the same time, and I hope everyone's very impressed. So we got 3 boxes, potentially, to play with. Bam, bam, bam. Perfect. Just what we were looking for. Now, you stop that. You do it from here. Very good. Now that stays open. With blue, is it good that we have... Yeah, we need blue to open the final door. It's just that I kind of need like a... I guess we could just remove the box now. I did maybe place this badly. I'm realizing that now. Because I kind of need this to be closer to the... Does this work? I did not mean to do that. That is very irritating. I think I just locked myself in. Hang on. Can we use a series of boxes to get this final connector and like pull the switch or whatever? Because this is... I kind of just forgot this was here, if I'm being honest. Right. That simplifies things significantly. Because that just gives us an extra puzzle piece to play with. So, we can make red go over here. I'm wondering if we need to, though. Huh. Because we got a lot of boxes. I think with 3 boxes, surely we can just jump over everything. We can certainly get here. And that's I mean, it's not very helpful to be here, I'll admit, but... You know, it's an option. It's there. Let's open this door real quick. Let's do like this. Now we've got red going towards this here. If we just keep the door open for now, using the power of our patented box technology, we can do all that. I kind of, like, obviously, we have the option now of just doing the puzzle properly. And that's nice, but I'm curious if you'd get 3 boxes in this place, if it would be enough to jump over a force field. Which I think is interesting information, but at the same time, I don't know if I can realistically be bothered at this point. It's just I think it would be kind of interesting, you know? But obviously this is fine. Anything on anyone? Is anything? Talking? Dialogue? No. Okay. So what's all this? Why is there an exit here? Because obviously there is still that switch, which implies that we need to take like a puzzle piece to that button to do all that and whatnot. Because we managed to get a box out there, and I'll be honest, this is just very suspicious. Like, something about this screams to me that you're meant to at least take a puzzle piece out of one of the puzzles. Because how else are you going to keep that thing open to get the little flame piece and whatever? And this is like the most unusual exit. Because there's no... Could you get stuck here? I don't think you can. Maybe there was a time where you could. And that's why they put this here? Like, if you would able to... If these wouldn't just stay open after you solve the puzzle? Because I don't really see any way of getting these 3 boxes anywhere. Well... I say that, actually. Because this is obviously a lowered wall. And I wonder... I guess you don't need to get a box on the other side. You just need to get a thing on the other side. And we do still have a connector left as well. So maybe if you'd get the connector out through the power of boxes by just jumping around a whole bunch. Because you could just probably just make a tower here, yeah? I guess you can't pick up the last box. Yeah, okay, that's... I'm not sure if that complicates things or not yet. We'll get to that in a second. Like, say we were to put this here. Could we put something like on top of one of these things and have it just sort of float so we could pick it up from a distance? Maybe. Like, from that fence, I feel like you could maybe stand over there, but that's like a whole thing that I don't currently wish to deal with. Yeah, it just kind of locks in a way that I don't want it. But I wonder... Let me just play around here for a little bit. Because is this actually higher? Because it might just be snow. Now that I look at it again. I don't know. We can't pick that up anymore, which is a shame. Oh, we could just jump over the force field. I'm going to reset, and I'm going to sneeze, and I'm going to blow my nose, and I'll see you back here again. I'm starting to realize maybe I didn't pick the best day to record. Starting to realize that there's a very real chance that I have caught a cold or something, and that this is just me slowly manifesting through the various symptoms. That's fine though. That has never stopped me from solving a puzzle. It has stopped me from staying coherent. So we'll just see how it goes. If it ends up being a problem, we'll just well, we'll see what happens then, eh? Right, so that's very easy. And possibly needed. In order to get the flame of whatever it was called. So, there you go. Also, so far there have been 2 flames in every world. At least for as far as I could have found, and I don't know if that's like a thing. But it does mean that we have to keep on exploring for at least a little bit longer, I would say. We definitely... I don't think we found 2 in every world. Maybe I don't know what I'm thinking. Don't worry about it. There's a chance that there's 2 in every world. I feel like the numbers would add up with the circles and whatnot, at least, so... Just keep that in mind. It's factual, it's truth. It's certainly real. Oh. Well, that was easy. That was a lot easier than the other one. But I don't know if that means we can now stop exploring. Because obviously there's also still, like, rusty things here and there that we have to take a look at. And we wouldn't want to miss those. There's some important lore hidden in those things, presumably. If you can read, then there's probably some great hidden information in there. Unfortunately, I have been cursed with the lack of being bothered to read stuff in this game, so it's a real struggle. Also, this set of islands, this is like the perfect spot to hide like a thing, yeah? You have to be a little fiddly in order to actually get to the end of it, whatever that may be. Frankly, not hiding something here would be a bigger travesty than having something be hidden here, I would say. That's what we're gonna say. It's been said. I don't know what reasonably constitutes the end of this place, because it's going on for a while. That's fine though. We'll just keep wandering these seemingly less textured floors. Oh god. Like once you get to the point where the textures become very... Yeah, okay, there you go. We just... That was out of bounds, I guess. I don't even know how. We just walked. We just walked. I don't get it. How is that even... Like that's very reachable. But that was certainly just a void at the end of it. I don't... God. This game's got so many tricks up its sleeve that I'm just not ready for, you know? How are you meant to deal with stuff like that? There's a green beam thing there. We have already seen a green puzzle. I don't know if there's gonna be more. The Wall by Pink Floyd? That sounds right. Now seemingly this is more useful than this, but I guess we need this to be active to keep the laser there. Yeah. Oh gosh. We are in quite the conundrum this day, it turns out. Because the exit's right over here, next to this very low wall. So, like, what are you gonna do? What are you going to do? What are you gonna do? Because we could get the connector here. And arguably that's good. The jammer would be maybe preferable to have on the other side here. But I need to get rid of my box in order to get this driller, and I don't know if I'm okay with that, you know? I just don't know if I am. So we're gonna see how this is going to work out. Because you could take the box over here and then have the jammer be here, and that's probably good in some kind of way. It's certainly one of the options you have in this puzzle. That's good enough for me. We cannot jam that, which isn't great. We presumably need the jammer to finish the puzzle. We cannot just take the driller through its own hole, as we've established. And we seemingly cannot do some silly kind of weird jump to solve all my problems that way. So, that leaves the question, is it useful to have a box on this side? Because if it is useful, then we've certainly accomplished that, and not really much else. The amount this would be easier with a crouch button is actually wild, but I guess the main reason we don't have a crouch button is that this whole mechanic just wouldn't work in its current state. And that's not good. So what are our options here? Or did I get the jammer to this side already by doing all this? Oh, I guess I did, yeah. Oh, well, fair enough. Sometimes you just solve it, you know?
I often think about how many cities there are out there under the ocean. Cities where people lived for thousands of years. Cities with their own history, their own culture. All of it lost under the waves. If they'd been less greedy, they could have kept all that.
I don't think we can pass moral judgment on an entire species based on the decisions of a handful of leaders. But I do think they made a mistake. They stopped caring about what they built. They stopped seeing the romance of civilization.
Sometimes you just solve puzzles, you know? Sometimes you just reach the end of a puzzle and you go like, oh yeah, I did this. To the powers of my own brains. And that feels good sometimes. Can we reach that? Feasibly. Is there a purpose? I say feasibly. Should have gone into that weird little structure first, I feel. But this gives me another point where I can just walk there off camera once again and pretend that that never happened. You could argue that every now and then I just explore too much just for the purpose of blowing my nose, and you'd not be wrong. Anyway, what do we got over here? There we go.
You may wonder why I insist on these unsanctioned, unplanned expeditions. Some think it is because I hate civilization and prefer to lose myself in nature. This is precisely the opposite of the truth. It is because I love New Jerusalem that I have to leave. Because it is only when I am here that I fully appreciate what the city means. And also because I believe that if I stayed at home, I would one day be ethically compelled to commit acts of violence against those who, in their arrogance, imagine that humans should live in harmony with the chaos that surrounds us.
Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable when you think about it. Yeah. It's just how it goes, you know? We're just forever trapped in a circle of violence, and that's no bueno. Is what I heard. I'm back in exploring this place again, because quite frankly, it's incredibly reachable, but I just don't know if it's on purpose. It's just this whole area here with very shallow water and bits and pieces and whatnot, but then suddenly you're like, oh wait, maybe I'm out of bounds again. And that also sort of kills my drive to explore too much, because I don't know how much they actually intended to be seen and how much they just forgot. Because they made an area so big that no one could oversee it anymore at the end of the day, and they were like, it's all good. Who's gonna walk all the way over here? In this incredibly visible stretch of land. Surrounded by some islands that do have snow and nature put on it, and then suddenly it's like, whoop. The end. Like, why put all these islands here if you're gonna put nothing there, you know? It's just odd. It's just an odd choice, and it bothers me. You can go so far into the depths, and it just randomly ends. Ah, well. Sometimes life be like that. It just feels disappointing. Just every time I explore somewhere, eventually I just reach a point like this where it's like, well, either I can take the most tedious route all the way back again, or I could just walk into the ocean and call it a day. And honestly, that doesn't it doesn't feel great as a set of options that we have available there, you know? Anyway. Oh, wow. I was very ready to just be dead again there. I was about to just fast forward, edit my way to the next puzzle there, because quite frankly, that was a whole mess. Horses are just spawning all around me all the time. It's very unusual, this place. As far as islands go, this one is just the weirdest one so far. For reasons that are not great. Maybe if we stay close to the rail, we stay on sort of the path of structures that are meant to be seen, but I think this also just goes into the water and yeah, it just goes a little bit too deep. But again, you could... This looks feasibly reachable, provided you can reach that island, and that island also seems... How much longer am I gonna keep doing this, I wonder? And the answer is reasonable amount of time, I'm gonna say, but they just keep putting things in reach. Things keep being there for me to just barely be able to acquire, and it's so close to being like, oh yeah, you could reach that extra little island there if you put a little, just not even that much effort into it, and then it's like, where does it go? Just realistically nowhere again. Just a little bit of splish splash, and before you know it, you're in a whole new place. It's very specific splish splash, I'll tell you that much. But it's splish splash nonetheless. When you open this in a level editor, surely you can see what is feasible. But I suppose when you make a swamp, things are going to be not that deep. That's just kind of what swamps are usually. It makes sense that the water here isn't that deep for the swamp perspective. It's just that there must have been another perspective going into this. Because now this seems reachable. Until it isn't. And then you see those rocks over there. It's like, well, they didn't want you to be here. You see those protruding rocks, you see the grass sort of pop into place here. It's like, well, they probably didn't actually want me to be here, right? And then that's that. And that's the end of the game. I'm gonna go to the next puzzle now. Oh, hey, we found a washing machine. That's nice. It was on the way from that little structure to, well, just sort of the middle, really. But now we can read about washings. That's nice. We can go to puzzle number 2. That's actually surprisingly nearby. We can just play the game for a little bit. Have just a little bit of a silly old good time. Classic time. Doing some puzzles every now and then. Obviously walking around it just in case. But this one does seem to have the whole fence structure around it, which does have a tendency to keep it safe. The puzzle's called Possibilities. We get a free box from the get-go. And I say that, like, we can grab it. I just want to know if we can get on top of that. Yeah. I do wonder if something like that's possible as well. Because oh, now I can just jump there. Maybe because the box was in the way. Yeah, maybe. So it's called Possibilities. And that gives me hope that I am intended to be silly. And not just that there's some seemingly jumpable things here. Because you can't quite jump on the fenced areas. Like, that looks like a ledge, but it's not. It never is. Never quite the ledge that you expect it to be. That's surprisingly not the ledge you'd expect it to be. I think that's actually just an invisible wall. That was me not jumping, so I'm gonna just say benefit of the doubt one more time. Yeah, that's just a wall there, so that's nothing. So far we have terminated one of the possibilities. How about this one? That's the second one that wow. I didn't try that hard, but I think that's also just an invisible wall, so we're just gonna leave that one alone as well. These things are fun though, I do like these, to be fair. This probably works if we stand over here, yeah? Yeah. So we got a beam. We got a blue thing. If we can get this on top of this, we're basically done. Provided we can get up here. And that's, I suppose, sort of the meat of the puzzle. Because I don't think I can make this jump in particular. Actually, one thing I am, well, two things I'm curious about. One thing, if I just mess around here, do I just start? Yeah, okay. So you do just, these things are not meant to be able to jump off of. But if you sort of believe in yourself, then you reach like the weird little edge and then you just jump off it anyway. But I wonder if you could... Okay, it stays blue. Yeah, that was sort of the main question that I had. The thing is, as it turns out, you can just sort of jump off the right edge of this. Sometimes. I did it once. Does it work on the other edge, actually? Because that would be a little easier. I don't know why I was able to jump off of that. That was, yeah. You just sort of gotta surf on the edge of it, and then sometimes you get a jump off, and that also solves the puzzle. And that seems a little bit easier for sure. Where was the green thing? Was it like there? Yeah. That's gonna be a bit tricky to reach. Having this all the way up here, though, seems exciting for sure. So I'm just gonna put this here, and we're just gonna... Can I have you point at everything all the time, actually? Because that would make you very visible from, like, a distance. Yeah. There you go. Very visible. If we ever see a different puzzle from that perspective, could be useful. Arguably, if we could get that out of the puzzle, we could just get a green beam from that one puzzle and then point at that as well. And that could be good. We'll leave that for now, though. We're just gonna... go to puzzle number 5, maybe? That one seems pretty close. Puzzle 5, puzzle 6. As you can tell, the spirit of exploration has been thoroughly stamped out of my body. I think trying to explore the water was a mistake, and maybe that's what I should stop doing, because I feel like there's never anything really near the water beyond just heaps of death, and it's just not working out as an option, really. It's the people making the hole. Diggy diggy hole. Look at that. Yeah, the moment I start going towards the sea, I feel has been sort of the worst experiences so far in terms of enjoying myself while exploring. And maybe that's what I should just stay away from. But simultaneously, we've had some rusty things be on sort of the edges. So they do hide their like stuff there sometimes. But by and large, it's just garbage. It's just it's a lot of nothing near the ocean most of the time. And even when there's like a hint of something, it ends up just being, oh, we didn't actually intend for you to be here. Whoops. There's been one instance, which I looked back on in the video as well, is that there was dialogue for being near the sea from Byron. When he started talking about the sea consuming all that stuff, I think that was just because I was near the ocean at the time. So, occasionally, there's like triggers around the island near the sea and whatnot. But it's certainly not a guarantee that there's going to be something there. And for the most part, it's very tedious to explore.
Miranda, would you like to play a game?
A game? That sounds like fun.
It is. Remember what Alexandra Drennan said about games?
They're part of what makes us human.
Exactly. And this is a game Alexandra Drennan designed when she was still in school. It's based on her favorite book. Have a go.
That could be anything.
To us who have only just begun this journey of philosophy, the world may seem like a mystery that can never be solved. A great deal has been written since the days of the Seven Sages, but how much of it is truth and how much of it is idle speculation? I've offended many by saying that most philosophy will, as the centuries pass, be discarded as foolishness and superstition. But it is a truth only philosophers fail to see. And yet we cannot abandon reason and conclude that we cannot know anything. Rather, we must accept that the journey towards understanding will be long, and our task is to build a foundation for those who will one day arrive at its destination.
Tell him, gold creature. That's exactly right. Let's go solve some puzzles though, because it's been a minute. What are the odds, do you think, that one of these is climbable? Because it just... You can go pretty high, it's just that once you reach this, it all sort of falls apart. What if one of them is just like a little broken? What if one of them is just a little bit busted? Then it doesn't take that much for just one slope to be a little bit not sloped enough. But I don't know how the slopes work exactly, because it doesn't seem to be the angle. That once it reaches a certain angle, it becomes like a slope and you start sliding down. Because then you had like the snowy area of one of the previous islands. And you could just go up snow like that, no problem, so it was the same. Maybe they just defined something as slope and call it a day. Because also there's just been some things where it seemed like it was just like a platform you can jump off of, and then suddenly, oh no, it's actually just a slope. Can't jump on this one for whatever reason. Up and down. Whee! We got green. That might be one of the options for making green happen. We got blue. We have a converty thing. What else was here? Box? Well, box and a thing. This does nothing, right? Yeah, this is just a bunch of nothing. This is the exit, which requires blue. Which presumably means... Oh, there's blue there, but we can make red happen with that. Yeah. So many things. So we got green. We got blue. We need blue. We can make red with this. Red, green equals good. Good times. This is a fan that we can just pick up. That's I see. Is this a fan we can pick up? This is also a fan we can just pick up. I see. God, what do we need? Do we need everything? Do we need the box? I suppose is my main question. Also, my second main question is, yeah, okay, you can do something like that as well. It's just that that feels beyond the realm of what is intended. Anyway, let's go. Can you grab the fan as you're flying? That could be interesting if that's possible. Maybe not. Maybe not. It certainly is tricky. If it is possible, and I'm starting to think that maybe that's not one of the possibilities. Because it's certainly not working. But it might just be the angle that I'm looking at while I'm trying to do it. But I think it's fair that that's not a thing that you can do. Anyway, what was this puzzle called? Up and down, right. That's fair enough, I suppose, because we can... Because it's gonna be like a whole mess of moving things around, I feel. So now we can do this. Leave that there for now. We can replace the box with this thing. And then we can go back down again. We can use this, because we maybe don't need this anymore. Now we have all the puzzle pieces that we need to make blue. Is that true? Because I need the blue to be there. That's actually kind of an awkward spot for it to be, eh? Because this will hit green at least, which is pointless. But this will hit blue at least. This will hit blue at least. I'm just not sure if... Can we reach this? Oh, that's where you need the box. Maybe. Yeah, okay, fair enough. That's why you need the box. And we do have an extra fan left, actually, to make that happen. So, oh god, this is gonna be so much undoing of what I just did to get the box back. Oh yeah. Cause I need. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I need so many things for this. That's why they call it up and down, because you're going up and down all the time. Can I do this in a like less irritating way? Because I'm already just bored of this whole situation, really. Like, I'm wondering, maybe I could just get red from somewhere, because I can't really be bothered with all of this, if I'm being truly honest. Because ultimately I need to then, in the end, use all the fans to get all my puzzle pieces back. I don't know if I know how. I might, I guess. That could be fun. That could be a more fun way of doing things. Does this help in any way? I don't know if it does. Because I still can't quite hit the blue thing from there. I'm just wondering if I can do some silly stuff from up here, really. That's sort of my main thought. Yeah, probably not, though. I could put one of the fan pieces. Oh, does that work? I don't know if it would serve a purpose. Never mind. I'm just thinking, not even out loud. I'm just sort of making sounds as we progress. Is I guess what's happening here. Because the things I'm trying to think of, none of them really lead anywhere. This is the problem. So that's not great. So I'm wondering if I had... Yeah, I meant to do that, surely. If I had a... I'll be honest. You know? Today's not a day for thoughts. I think we all very much realize that already. But the idea that I'm going to be able to solve a puzzle normally right now, as my brain is slowly filling up with gunk from the inevitable cold that I will be experiencing for who knows how long. But it certainly is building up as the further we get along this puzzle. this sequence of puzzles. I'm starting to realize I shouldn't be trying to do this normally, because my brain is not in it on this day. So let's just break everything apart instead, because I think that's usually what my brain is more capable of doing. This, on the other hand, seems fairly cut and dry as like a thing you can do. I'm just not entirely sure what I need red for. Oh, we have a converter there, actually. So we can keep that like that. We can... Was I not pointing that at that? Oh, can I not jam it? No, I thought I was pointing at that, actually. Weird. Anyway. Not super sure how this is going to end up actually working. Because I need... Seemingly... I need more things. Oh, no, never mind. I'm just being silly. I'm just being a little silly, a little goofy. I just picked the wrong color. Give me a second. We'll be there. We'll be done in a minute. No, we won't. No, yeah, we will, actually. Will we? No. We'll see. Oh, does this open both? Okay, yeah, then we'll be ready in a second. There we go. Look at us. Look, we'll figure it all out. Don't worry. Some puzzles are not hard, and that sort of takes the edge off the whole brain situation that we got going on. Which does simplify things at least a little bit. Wait. How does this work? Because I don't think I can point it at... Can I point it at the one behind it? Through silliness. Yes. It just doesn't really help me out, unfortunately, because it doesn't stay open. It is weird that this is possible, though. I will say that. I didn't expect this angle to exist. I say that as if it wasn't the, like, literal first thing I tried. But still, though, I didn't fully expect it to be that busted. It just seemed unlikely, I suppose. I don't think we... So we need 2 jammers. Does this open in a different way? What am I missing here? Because I don't have, like, cables pointing towards things that I could press. Hang on. Does this button do more than I thought it did? If I were to do like this. Because this button's already doing more than I originally thought it did. But it's not opening this either. Do I need 2 jammers? Like 2 jammers and the laser? Because that doesn't seem possible. It doesn't seem possible at all. I don't know. Because with the things that we have, we just quite simply only have 2 things. And we have 3 barriers. So what am I... What was this called? Twice. I'll be honest, that doesn't fully help me that much. Unless... right. Okay, twice was actually a pretty good hint. Right. Yeah, that's fair enough, actually. It's called twice because you have to do it twice. Yeah, actually a pretty good name for a puzzle. Can't really fault it. Well done. Alright, cool. Just looking around on the edges of this this here puzzle place. So what do we still got left? We still got to point the green beam. We have that thing over there, which I only just noticed. Which is certainly something that you'd need to make green normally. Oh, we can make green easily from here, actually, I guess. With this? Yeah? Should I have done that? Maybe not, actually. No, yeah. Yeah? No. What? Wait. Well, we can make one of the colors. With what we currently have. Now we just need to have a red beam pointed at that as well, and then we'll be good to go. That's an exciting way of doing it. This is probably like the intended method, but I'm kind of excited by the prospect of not just stealing a puzzle piece and breaking it. So let's at least like look if there's another connector in this one which makes red happen. Just for the purpose of doing things normally for once. I don't know if there's red here. No. Also from this one. Can we hit it from this one? Because we couldn't make blue here. Oh yeah. Yep, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. No. Alright. So we can make red in the other one. And then everyone's gonna be happy. That's nice for a change. I keep getting scared by these horses spawning out of nowhere. And they are spawning. They aren't just running around all the time. They certainly are just appearing out of nowhere each time, and it scares me every single time. Once again, nature predicaments me. That sounds right. Having to walk all the way around with my silly little robot legs. Do you know how much time it takes for me to walk around? Seemingly infinite amounts. I don't like it. If this character had a motorbike, I think I would enjoy the game more. Just like any sort of way to travel a bit quicker would just be so nice. Because my god, I feel slow. So, what did we accomplish by doing this? Alright, now we have green. So now... Oh, hey.
Mother, can I suggest something?
Of course, go ahead.
The southern part of the island is completely dead. No animals, no plants. The soil is too alkaline for anything to live except bacteria.
Yes, that's why it's a good location for some of the experiments.
Well, if we want to show that we can make the cosmos more beautiful, then why don't we start there? The desert doesn't have to be dead. If we modify the conditions, life can thrive there. And that could be the first step towards spreading life to other worlds. What do you think?
I think that sounds like a plan.
Well, she certainly seemed very excited by it all, so that's good. That sounds like a plan. This will do, actually. Wait, no, it won't. God. I placed the driller too close to the wall. Every step that I have to take as this character feels like just pain. Alright, so we got that. Where was the beam? There. Huzzah! Please let me just walk here, and very nice. Hooray!
Horses are broken, not taught. That is the way of humankind.
Alright, good. So, what we still have left, we have 6 and triangle. Alright, so we're going to puzzle number 1, because I think we've all established that my brain has stopped providing the juices required for adequate puzzle solving. So we're going to get a little silly with it. I didn't expect to have this difficulty finding puzzle number 1. I guess I could just follow the signs. But that doesn't sound very exciting. But it's certainly an effective way. The signs are actually pretty useful to finding your way back again. Combined with the paths that this game has placed. It just doesn't feel like my method of transporting myself through a video game, I suppose. Maybe that's where I've been going wrong. Maybe my general methods... God, this one is invisible because of the hand and the 6 there. Maybe my methods are just based on like assumptions of how a video game is meant to be played. And that's where I've been going wrong all this time. So how did I get the box out again? I actually don't fully recall. If there was some way that I could just quickly... Oh yeah, now I remember. So we do something like this, and then we just stand on it, and then we just sort of get like a weird angle here where we can, for some reason, place this thing in it anyway. I guess you'd need to sort of... Did I just place it really perfectly that one time? So that seems not entirely implausible, I suppose, with how much effort I sometimes put into these weird angles, but... Then from here... Yeah, there you go. It is kind of tricky, I suppose. And then I just fell off the box trying to align the jump, so that's not great either. Because you do sort of have to just create like just some space here. I feel like I did it wrong there, but let's see if this works. And the angle on it is quite tight, I'll admit that much as well. So they certainly put in some effort into making sure that this is not something that should happen. It's just that it still happens. And that is that's just the reality that we're living in here. So yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. Like, it's tricky, but it's not like super tricky. Alright, let's just take this away. And find our way back to... let's do the triangle puzzle first, because I just want to get it out of the way. And I say let's do the triangle puzzle as if we're solving something here, but, I mean, we can certainly pretend, can't we? Also, do we need to do this, or can we also just, like, jump over? Like that? That seems like it just leads to that situation fully, really. Does it not? Can you not stand on some of this, maybe? Ah, yeah, there's the problem. So, this is... While this may look identical to some of the other places where we've been jumping on top of walls, this would impact how you would beat this. So, unfortunately, this is all just slopes. Because ultimately we're still playing a video game, and sometimes rules are put into video games for the purpose of doing things a certain way. And that is what we're currently dealing with, as you... Okay. Okay, and it's also a slope that apparently has a propulsion engine put into it somewhere. So if you try to jump onto it from up close, you just get launched away into space instead. So that obviously is not great either. Does that happen everywhere here, or just in that specific little spot? Seems that it's not a universal thing. I just happened to find the one place where they installed the engines, I suppose. That's so bizarre. How does that even happen? How was it just that one spot that did that? That's unusual for sure. So I'm gonna play around here for a little bit, because I don't like the Tetranemo puzzles. I don't find them interesting. I don't fully understand the logic behind them, and solving them is just sort of a pain in the butt every single time, and I don't really want to deal with it, but if we could just sort of weirdly jump over this, I'd be okay with that. It does look like it doesn't want me to do this though. Like, it really just pushes me away wherever I go, unfortunately. Which is a shame, because it certainly looks like all of the other rocks in the game where you can climb it, so, you know. Sort of a strange diversion of expectations there. Yeah, horse. Just, yeah. Words can be said about this solution, I suppose, to the problem of, oh, I guess we could just jump up there. It's functional. It's a functional solution to the problem. I will give you that. It certainly works to get around the issue that people might do that. However, it doesn't mean I have to be happy about it. Okay, so that could get me there, but does that help? Maybe. It might. From here, specifically. Because from here I can take the box with me. And provided that this is something I can just place stuff on, I could probably just, yeah. Alright, good. Probably should have left the box outside, but that's fine. Right, so what was puzzle number 6 again? Oh, wait, it doesn't even matter, I suppose, because I could just do that. Oh, that's a little bit higher than I was hoping, actually. Okay, so this is going to cause problems with it. I can still grab it. You could probably just get it over the wall, actually. Surely, because this one I couldn't detach, no. There is no way that this is safe. There is absolutely no way that this isn't a possibility, because look at how close this is to the wall. Anyway, how many objects did we have for this puzzle again? We have the jammer. We have the fan. We have that. Right. Let me just, I'm trying to remember what puzzle piece I even needed. But I'm gonna say that the jammer is probably pretty good. As it very frequently is, so... just trying to think of what I can do to get the jammer out of this place. How much effort do I realistically have to put into it to get a jammer out of here? Because if it's... I would be genuinely surprised if it's a lot. That's what I'm thinking. In fact... yeah, this is just not safe. I think the box might just be a little bit too big. Maybe that's just the whole issue that we were dealing with there. It's just getting silly how that creature is disappearing out of nowhere every time now, but you know, it is what it is. Now every time I see this puzzle I think, oh, I'm at puzzle number 6, but I'm not. This is actually puzzle number 7. Also, this whole mountain range, I must have been up here already, because this was actually pretty climbable, you know? These identical looking rocks to the other ones. I'm not gonna let that go. That's so stupid. I actually hate that as a solution. Because the other solution is to just not have it look like that. Which, clearly they have enough materials to make something look different. So what is the purpose of making it look identical to the rocks that you can climb? And then just being like, nah. You know? It's just very frustrating to me that that would be the solution you go for. Like, aesthetically, it's like, ah, this looks actually quite nice. However, we simply couldn't find a way that we could make it look like this and also have it not be climbable, so everything slopes now. Genuinely just frustrating. Ah, well, it is what it is. I'm just happy my nose isn't itchy anymore. You know, you gotta take the small victories in life, and I'm just gonna call that one of the small victories that we have gotten in this area, but jeez. It certainly is a place, isn't it? Where's the exit? It's there, right? No, it's not there. It was... Where was the exit again? Here. Oh, yeah. Alright. I think we all know how this is, the easiest solution to this puzzle is. That structure was somewhere else where I thought it was. That does complicate things a bit, because I was just going to climb that and then point it at it. And whereas now we don't necessarily have that option. So, just thinking what the simplest thing is, but it's probably just do that, right? Alright, let's just do this puzzle normally. +1 jammer. Because that certainly simplifies things. Can I not just take this jammer into the puzzle, actually? I feel like almost certainly that's doable with some effort. Given that, like, what if a jammer's like here? That is like sort of at the edge here. Although I think these things extend a little bit further, and that might be causing problems with actually picking things up through it. Like, as you can see, my head is clearly going through the wall at times, provided I just look correctly. So provided I can get on this wall, which I'm gonna say is like a reasonable possibility given that these fans are detachable. Provided I can jump on top of this box as it's on it. Because then I can just jump over there, right? Would I reach that far? Okay, yeah, you can definitely like jump over things. So provided I get the jammer there-ish. Can I jump? Can I pick up a thing as I'm jumping on top of it? This is gonna be like next level nonsense, but I'm curious if I can pick up a box while I'm standing on it. No. Okay, that's actually fair enough. I will say, no, I won't. I won't say anything. That's just the end of that statement right there. I won't say. And that's the end of it. Let's just do this way. I think this is probably the least complicated method. I kind of forgot what the puzzle even is. I need to get blue here. Right. And I need to use the fans as pieces for getting all the different things. Right. So the box was necessary for the purpose of pointing the laser at the thing. Can I get up here without the fan? I wonder. I don't know. Because that would also simplify things at least a little bit. Does that work? Does this one not drag me to the middle when I jump into it? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it does. I still have enough air control once I'm hit by it. That silly things start to happen. I'm still a little curious about this. Hang on. This is something I'm just not going to let go otherwise, so... Because I can jump on. It gives me the jump here prompt. I'm just wondering if you could, like, slightly clip things into puzzles. Through method of how I'm clipping slightly through walls all the time. But I should... Let's let that go for now. Because that's good. That's a whole nother mess right there. What do I have again? I have the converter. I have the spinny. I think it's called an inverter actually, but that's fine. My brain can't really process this puzzle anymore. I think that was the problem the first time as well. That I sort of lost the ability to brain as much as I needed. And that was just kind of an issue. But because we can take these pieces fairly easily now. It's just that we couldn't quite... We can hit this. Wait, what was the issue then? Oh, I couldn't... Wait. Because blue was here. And then... What was it? Oh, God. Right. Now I remember what I was doing, because that's nothing. That is just nothing what I'm doing there. So this is now red. That's green. And this was unreachable without the box. Right, now I remember what I'm doing. Very good. We're getting there. This is what I needed to make blue. Good. Very nice. Now, what are the odds that this can't be solved in a manner that makes everyone mad at me? Because, quite honestly, with this fan being where it is, I think we could just do something like that, like drop it there. It's just that we can't do that in midair when I'm jumping. Once I'm jumping myself, I can't drop anything anymore. But if I use a fan to jump, then I can drop it in midair. You see. So, yeah. So then I guess I come back to my question. Can I get up here without the fan? Because that would really simplify my life a lot if I could. Because in the current situation, I just don't really see a way that we can make this happen. Unless I find some silly way to get on top of stuff. Like, obviously, I could just get another box from a different puzzle. That's the normal solution. The standard stuff that everyone could think of. That's not quite what I'm looking for. If we could make red, somehow, actually, then I could convert that back to blue. Is that just what I've been doing wrong this whole time? Is it just nothing more than this? Am I heavily overthinking it because I saw a box and was like, well, I have to use the box, obviously. Oh, yeah. Life's cruel sometimes, isn't it? Sometimes you see boxes, you know, and then it's like, well, I have to use this box in that way, because what else am I going to do with it? And I will have no further thoughts in any other direction. Because obviously, this is the obvious solution that we're all agreeing on. So, ultimately we have to get into this thing, right? This is all slopes, as you can see. I'm gonna use this jammer as an example. If I can't stand on it, it's a slope. If the jammer can't stand on it, it's a slope. If the jammer moves by itself, it's grown legs. That's very much too far away, so that's unfortunately not going to happen. And we'd need quite the amount of boxes, I think, to climb this in a way that you would call regular. So I think I'm just gonna have to accept the fact. This does seem like... We've gone over this. I don't need to go over this again. It is what it is. That's just how the puzzle works. It's all slopes all the way down. I'm not going to give it any more thought. I'm not going to think about it anymore. Because I'm going to cry. And I don't wish to do so. Because it's just it slopes. It's clearly... We all agree. We all agree. Let's just go do a funny little shape puzzle to get to the other side. Also, there's a golden door over here, which we are making some amount of progress in. I don't really know what the triangles stand for, I suppose. But that's probably going to be relevant one of these days. That's okay, though, because that day is not currently. I do kind of want to explore a little bit around the golden puzzle, but I might do that after this. Alright, so... Oh god, do we actually have options here regarding the starting block? No, we don't. No, we don't. It's really just one of these two. Fair enough. Then we find out the next puzzle piece that fits here. It's this one. Is it just that one? Yes. Very good. I walked off of it, and that removed all my progress. Yeah. Usually these things aren't this close to a part where you can just walk off, so that's a new problem to experience, so that's fun. We do have options here. God, if this is solved quickly, I'd be heavily surprised. Alright. It's a modern day miracle. We have solved that more or less first try, so I'll take that. Let's go up there. I also found a way to break the elevators while I was making thumbnails. So that's exciting. I might try that again in a second after the conversation. Ooh.
Hear me, friend, and heed my words. Beware Pandora. She is nothing but fear and despair, and she will do anything to prevent you from reaching the flame. It is she who disrupted the trials of the Sphinx, and who bound me in the...
What could it mean? That's nice.
Well done, 1K.
Thank you.
Looks like our hypothesis was correct. The megastructure is opening again. Everyone come to the VTOL, please. It's time to find Athena.
What about Pandora? She seems capable of displacing or controlling the other entities.
We should be careful, but we can't let such a vague threat paralyze us. Just keep your eyes open.
So, the game has been patched once or twice since I last played, but it was very much a matter of just using the elevator over and over, and then if you just did it quickly enough, it would just let you fall down. And I don't know if that still works. I'm gonna try it like maybe once at most. I'm certainly gonna try it. Like, it went a bit weird there, but not quite as weird as it could have. I'm gonna try it one more time. But I could suddenly just start moving around as I was also going down the elevator there. And so far it has led me nowhere interesting whilst looking around places trying to make thumbnails. Yeah, I don't know, something weird's happening there. One more time. I just really love this sound of the elevator as well. It's very soothing. Maybe if I just don't press any directional keys, because I've been moving sideways a whole bunch while... Yeah, like that. Like suddenly, the elevator just sort of stops. You're just not really that stuck to it anymore, but whether you can actually reach anything interesting like that is yet to say, because it gives you a nice view of the place for sure. But realistically, that's all you're really getting out of it, unfortunately. Also, if you didn't land in the beam, it just stops you entirely. Can't jump either, you just kind of look around. But I suppose if you had a jammer or something whilst jumping down like this, you could probably solve a puzzle or two by just making it float in midair or something like that. So, in terms of views, it's actually a pretty good way of just looking around and see if there's anything like super obvious that we missed, but at the same time, these places are so big that it's kind of impossible to say, really. Because that was the chasing thing, and then we walked all the way around. Most of this is just puzzles. We've been to that little structure over there. That's the railing, so we've probably seen it all. Unless there's something like hidden in the middle, like that washing machine was earlier, but I will not find that. I will simply not find that. So, I'm gonna quickly check around the golden puzzle here for just a second. Because I want to see if there's just anything sort of here, but it just sort of looks like a place we've already been, really. Nah, no idea. Either way, the megastructure is open again, so that's exciting. Surely that's going to lead to an infinite amount of possibilities that we'll deal with next time. We might have another one of those episodes where it's like, well, don't really have much, like enough time to do much, but certainly have enough time to go to the megastructure and then walk around for a bit. Maybe that is just a better balance of the possibilities that we have. Maybe this megastructure visit is different.
I know the New Alexandria disaster was traumatic. I know accidents like that make us think that it's best to stick to what we have. But what about all the accidents that have happened in New Jerusalem that nobody talks about? The collapse of the Wachowski building. The Calvin Street explosion. The derailment that almost killed Benaroya and Canada. All of those happened because we stopped investing enough resources in our civilization. And if Melville hadn't been put in charge of city maintenance, this would still be happening.
It will happen again either way. With how little we have to work with, it's only a matter of time.
You see, there may be a price for pursuing progress, but there's also a price for not pursuing.
And that's why I'm just going to say yes to everything all the time. Because it leads to the more interesting of the two things. I was hoping I could just run through that. I could not. And thus we leave. Alright. Return to the Vito. That seems like a thing for next time, because it's too far away from me. But that concludes that. I hope you all enjoyed whatever that island was. It might have been a fever dream that I had. And I'm going to go take a good break now. We'll see when the next part of this series is. But yeah, didn't really like the ice islands. I'm not gonna lie. It's a shame, because snow is always so pretty. It just felt like a lot of nothing. It was a lot of nothing that we were dealing with, and yeah, it's a shame, really. The puzzles were fun, which is ultimately the meat of the game, I suppose. It's just, I don't know, didn't care for it. Anyway, whatever the next area will be, hopefully I'll like it more, and I hope to see y'all there. Bye-bye.